Good morning and welcome to Life and Style. You know, it's Wednesday, so it's relationships. Every Monday we start with health and wellness, then we get into Tuesdays, Artistic Tuesdays, and then we get the Inspiration Thursdays and Feel Good Friday. But Wednesday is that day we talk matters of the heart, relationships, and we start with Monday. The men come in, sit with me. It's always a joy to hear the men talking. You know, ladies say men don't talk, but not on Monday. Here, they express their views. Then we get the ladies on retake, and the ladies for today are already here. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Yeah, they will be joining us on retake after we've spoken with the men, and then we get to Style My Wife, Style My Hubby, Crystal Okusa, and then we finish up with Ask Pastor Chris. Remember, follow us on our social media platforms at KTN Life_Style. That is for both Instagram and Twitter, and KTN Life and Style for Facebook. 22840 is our text message number. You want to be part of the show? Write us an email on Life and Style. The and is a symbol, Life and Style at standardmedia.co.ke. Let's get right into it with the men. Today we want to talk about self-image. What happens when somebody has you in their lives, but then sometimes they're embarrassed, they can't show you off, they don't want anybody to know that you are with them or in their lives. What happens? Is the problem with you or is the problem with them? How you doing, man?
We're good.
Good.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start from my father's left. Kindly introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Hesbon Odhiambo. I work with UNICEF Education, basically dealing with young people with their careers.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. And I love your time, man.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Peter Cello, media consultant and also an associate pastor with the Purpose Center Church,
All right.
dealing with facilitating men's ministry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Great to have you here.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Ezekiel Mahehu,
Right.
worship pastor.
Okay.
I'm a pastor at House of Grace.
Great. Great to have pastors here. And I know that your wife is coming up on retake.
Yes.
Great. You know, so talking matters self-image. Probably we break it down. What would be your understanding of what we want to talk about today? If somebody is relating, for example, with another person, but they don't like to show them off. They don't like to identify with them publicly.
Probably they're not confident about themselves, or perhaps they're insecure.
All right.
That could be one of the reasons.
That could be one of the reasons. All right.
Yeah, I think it's basically it could be it's definitely self-image, self-esteem. There's something they are uncomfortable with because self-image is basically the mental picture of yourself.
Okay.
So how you look at yourself is very important, and so there could be something you don't want people to know or the public to know about yourself, and so your partner would be, because the moment you are in a relationship, you definitely have a connection. You have something in common.
Yeah.
And so you have an attachment to that person. So if the person is in public, they are representing you in one way or another.
Okay.
So if you have issues with your self-image, you would be uncomfortable for the person to portray that image of you. But I also agree with my colleague here. It could also be insecurity. People can take away, or your person may go. So you want to keep it cool. Yeah.
But that wouldn't be the case in marriage, right?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Though in certain circumstances that could happen, but maybe from the onset, when he spoke about it being a mental picture that you have of yourself, it's beyond just what the physical attributes that people can be able to investigate about you. There's a lot of experiences and personal encounters in life that you have used to sort of give a description of how you view yourself, and it can be dynamic. There's a way that you view yourself, and there's a way that you perceive other people view you, and there's a way that you perceive that other people might be viewing you. And all these factors come into play when it comes to the self-image that you want to portray. So if it is in a setting sort of like a relationship where you have your wife, if there's any reason why somebody would want not to display his wife, could be, of course, aspects to do with insecurity, but even more deeply, I think it doesn't revolve around the other person. It revolves actually around you. Perhaps there's a perception that you want to, or an impression that you want people to have about you, that in actual sense is not really who you are.
Okay.
So it's pretty much like a facade of some sort
Right.
that you wouldn't want to display somebody else. But I think in the context of marriage, if you've made a choice to love somebody, then you should be confident enough to showcase this person.
All right. But Ezekiel, how do you think that makes the other person feel? Whether it is based on my insecurities, low self-esteem, whatever it is,
Yeah.
how do you think that makes the other person feel?
Well, the other person will not feel confident because the opinion of your partner also matters.
Right.
And if the opinion of your spouse is negative, you're not proud of me, then why are we not going out?
Yeah.
Why is it that when you're going for parties, you're going alone?
Right.
It kind of just creates a rift between the relationship, in the relationship rather.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that ends up a bit unhealthy, husband, right?
Yeah, it's unhealthy because it's a wrong foundation. It is a wrong start. If it's a relationship that is beginning, I think it needs to be clear. People need to be comfortable with one another because, see, relationship should be something that is long-lasting. It's a journey that you're starting, and so you want to start this journey very comfortable, and it's a long-term journey, hopefully. So whether it's in marriage or in a beginning, if let's say it's a starting relationship, then it's going to end up maybe in marriage, then kids are going to come and all that kind of thing. You want to start in a very good, clean, comfortable foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what would make somebody relate with or associate with somebody else that they're not proud of? I don't think that really would make sense.
Unless maybe they were forced to.
Because I'm just thinking, at the point that you're making the conscious decision
Yeah.
to pursue this lady,
Yeah, true.
they must have certain attributes that attracted you to them. They must be, we were once talking about expectations. They must have met certain expectations, whether it is physical attributes or in their character. There must be something that made you feel, I want to go after this lady. So when you now have them
Yeah.
and you hide them, that doesn't make sense at all.
Maybe you're a celebrity and she's shy of the public life, and maybe the nature
That's
of
a
your
very
job.
interesting way to...
Oh, yeah, maybe you're a Secret Service kind of guy, so you want to hide her from certain kind of dangers out there.
Say you've been in a relationship, 2-3 relationships that didn't end very well, and you are still dealing with it, and you jump into another relationship. You won't want to portray this one because then this, you know what will happen. Yeah. So some people would be uncomfortable to get there. Yeah.
Baggage, and you have probably unresolved issues in other relationships.
But do men really love to bring out their partners and their spouses?
If you love your wife, you'll want to bring her out.
Is it a man thing?
Yes.
Yeah, he brought her here today.
But generally, is it a man thing? Are we talking about a struggle that men have? Like they want to keep their ladies away. Husband say that sometimes people feel like somebody might take them away. Is it generally something that men feel like this is for me only? Or it's a man thing to show off?
It's a man thing to show off, unless if the man is insecure, or like he said, he's progressed in life, and the wife probably he's not also invested. As
Because
he
I was
went
going to
out.
ask you that.
Yes.
Because whose fault would that be?
Yes.
If I'm really progressing and
Yes.
she is not,
Yes.
is it only her fault?
No, it's not her fault. Because the man is supposed, as he progresses, also invests in your wife.
Yeah.
Because marriage is a journey.
Yeah.
As you grow, if you're going to Kambani, go together. Don't go to Mombasa and then leave her in Kisumu.
But could it also be talking about the growth apart? Because one person is growing, but as they grow, they're growing apart. Could it also be that when we are growing and we are changing, the things that used to attract us or mean a lot to us at a certain level no longer mean much to somebody at a certain level? And so as they're growing, so sometimes they feel like, you know what, you probably met somebody when dressing was not even such a big issue. So now some money has come in. You met a few people who have started talking to you about how you can dress up. But your wife didn't think that that's important because it was never a priority when you're meeting. So now it really means a lot to you. Would those also be factors?
That is a factor, but it's not the core, because there has to be a value system that overrides sort of temporary situations like those. Because fine, now I'm expected to dress up in a particular way. Maybe you're going for those cocktail dinners and all these things, dinners and everything, and you need to dress in a particular way. But she's not doing that. I don't think that is reason enough for you to begin to sideline her. Why? Because if there's a higher value system that you're riding upon, that you love this person, then it believes all things, bears all things. So there should be sort of like an investment to ensure that this person looks good. I think that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, because I believe that if you're growing in a relationship, you need to grow together. I'm not seeing a situation where one person has gone very far. That could be maybe financial, but even if it's economically you're okay, then you are progressing with your wife. I'm not seeing a situation where the wife was left behind for some reason. I've seen even relationships like when young people are when they start dating. I don't know if you know this, that lately they're actually even pushing to go together in the same university. And so if you're going to study abroad, you want to go to the same university, though from different families, so that when your parents are coming to visit you, you are together. So you progress together, everything together. So,
but is that really practical also, on the other hand? I just want to throw a flip side to it. Is that practical? Bearing in mind that you're two different people, different interests, is that really practical? That two people will keep on doing the same things together?
Well, it is.
It's practical?
It's practical. I'll give an example.
Does your wife do worship?
Yes.
She does worship?
Actually, we work together.
Did you meet her in worship, or did you drag her into worship?
Actually, before I even met her, actually my expectation was the person who will meet must first of all love God, the initial one. Then secondly, she must be able to sing. I wanted someone who we could sing together. And
so what does that do to the relationship? Before you even say what you want to say, what does it do? What's the benefit of that you're able to sing together?
You're able to enjoy life together.
Okay.
So because if I am a singer and she's not, maybe singing is not her interest. You see, I'll grow. Well, our interests are not together. So even before you get married, for those guys who are getting married, what are your interests? Do you enjoy going? For example, are you enjoying traveling, or the other person is into, I don't like traveling, I don't like reading books, I don't like going to movies. Are there things in your life that are similar?
What do you do in the case where you try everything to bring your spouse or your partner together with you, but they feel intimidated? What do you do in that case where now it's not you who is the problem? Probably they come around your office and they compare themselves with your colleagues. Maybe the colleagues they're loud, they're bold, they're confident, they've got so much energy, and that's just not them. So they begin to withdraw. Now, this is not a case where somebody has been pushed away, but it's the case where the partner begins to withdraw. How do you remedy that?
I think a discussion, a clear discussion, a clear understanding is important, because the person should love who you are. And I would talk about the inner image, which is mostly very important. So if your partner loves you and loves your character, it will not matter what they see out here, because life is a journey and things happen. Sometimes we grow fat, sometimes we grow thin, and all that kind of stuff. But the inner person is very important. So it's good you talk about it. It's good to, at least it will be on your side, to try and bring it out clearly to this, try to share the issue and let them see the inner person, who is very, very different and unique, because we are all unique, we are all original. So they should see that originality from us and not compare us with our colleagues and these people around us.
But where they do compare themselves, I need to say that again. So let me say I have this partner. I'm a pastor, so I've got a lot of people around me. And then let's say my wife then, which is not the case. But let's say my wife is intimidated by the people around me while I'm serving in the ministry. So then they begin to withdraw, either because they feel the people's education level is higher, they think these people are very energetic, they're very strong, strong personalities, they come out, their giftings are very high. How do you remedy that situation? It's not really that this person is looking at you, your outward, but now they're battling with something on the inside, and you are their spouse. How do you remedy that?
It's constant affirmation. Affirmation that has to be continuous. You're still the best. Just don't assume that she knows that you think she's still the best.
Okay.
Just that constant affirmation will, for me, that will do the trick.
And I think even by the time you realize she's withdrawing, probably you've already noticed some of those inner struggles that the person has. And one of the rules I think we should play strongly as men is to affirm them. Not only privately, but I think also publicly. It's a good thing to affirm them publicly and to learn to capitalize also on their strengths so that they can begin to see themselves in a different light as compared to maybe focusing on the weaknesses. Because there's something they have, and you can begin to capitalize on that. I also think how you treat somebody publicly can actually determine the kind of confidence levels they can build. Because what happens is at times, as you say as a pastor, when you're in the crowd of people and you get so immersed into that and caught up in that, sometimes you easily forget, oh, I was with my wife, where's my wife? You know, and all that, you know, with my wife.
You look for her when you go to the car.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's certain qualities or certain values you put in place, even both of you, like, you know, we never criticize each other in public.
Yeah.
Right.
And we say, you know what, I'm not going to call you out in public and anything.
Right.
Whatever issue we need to settle, we settle it privately so that we don't end up embarrassing each other.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's got to be that constant affirmation of this person. But apart from what other investment should you put into a spouse who is beginning to feel that you have grown to a level that they don't measure up to? And they're actually thinking that by staying away, they're protecting your image.
Yeah, first of all, I don't think you need to force her to do anything into uncomfortable situations.
All right.
But I think apart from affirmation, you need to create more time with her. There is a possibility that maybe there is also a problem with you that you've not quite you don't understand a part of her life. So spend some time with her. If you've been a busy person throughout the week, maybe make at least every week, create time just for her and learn more. And then build on, like, you know, few things that you think she's comfortable with. And I think, as I'm married as well, I know that women or somebody in a relationship is very easy to build it up. Whatever has been broken is just a matter of time. Even within 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you can start slowly. Maybe smaller meetings and, you know, small as you grow, and before you know it.
I love what you're talking about, that don't force them, and it just took me back to my own house. You know? Because no matter what I would tell my wife, you know, she does not want the microphone. You know, she just doesn't want it, and she's fine wherever she is. She doesn't want it. But sometimes it's the other people. It's people who are feeling like, you know, please preach. When will you preach? Do this. And then she just doesn't want to do that. So in the case like for Ezekiel, where you want to sing together, but my case is a case where you do your thing, I'll support you. I'll support you from the back. If somebody's not strong enough to understand themselves from the back, they can easily be cut off, right?
They actually can. And I like the example you gave, because there's this whole shebang around church settings, you know, the first lady, you know, the whole vibe, yeah? First lady, she's got to be in charge of the woman's ministry, and maybe that's not really her. And I think it's important for somebody to recognize who my spouse is. And the part of the encouragement that actually one can do is, when you find out who she is, you probably would identify things that she's good at or things she loves, and also invest time to help her do those things.
Right.
And as you're participating with her in the things she likes, she gets confidence to know that actually this person believes in me.
Right.
So the flip would be, I think she would even be motivated to just a little bit also step in also into your world and try to understand it, have some motivation to understand what you're doing also on this other end. But the most important thing is also not to allow the societal pressure to clamp in on your wife, because you've understood who she is, and you know this is the best way that I actually can walk with her.
All right. Okay, so your wrapping thoughts, because we're going to take a short break, then we get back to the ladies, and I want to hear Ezekiel's wife saying the things that he's saying over here. So you take the wrapping thoughts.
Okay. I think self-image is very important.
Right.
And God gives us partners, or we enter into a relationship with a purpose. It's not good to hide what is already yours. Bring it out in a very respectable and a good manner, and enjoy, because we are limited in this world to relate. So enjoy what God has given you, and be proud of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, having a good self-image is important, but even when you have a bad one, there's hope, because it's
Alright.
progressive. You can
Okay.
always add good values to yourself, grow your belief, and you can become better. So as we are in a context of a relationship, let's realize that we also have a responsibility in helping the other party build a better self-image, grow progressively towards the positive.
Okay.
For me, my take will be the flip side.
All right.
Grow your self-image first.
Okay.
Because if you don't have a good self-image about yourself, then you'll end up projecting to your spouse.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I hope you are keeping the conversation going on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. The hashtag is KTN Life and Style. Remember, you can follow us on our social media platforms at KTN Life_Style for both Instagram and Twitter, and KTN Life and Style for Facebook. And then 22840 is our text message number. You want to be part of the panel, either on mandate or retake, or you even want us to come to your school, your college, for us, Pastor Chris. You want to nominate your spouse for Style My Wife or Style My Hubby with Crystal Okusa, send an email to Life and Style. The and is a symbol, lifeandstyle@standardmedia.co.ke. We take this short break and come back with the ladies on retake. Don't go anywhere.